Greetings everyone, hello and welcome to Astro Colony, made by Tarot Games. This game has come out in November last year, and yeah, well, the developer is kind enough to sponsor this Let's Play series, so why not? I'm going in fully motivated. The game is pretty cool, to be honest. It's a mixture between Satisfactory, Factorio, but also adds in a mix of colony simulation. So not only do you build a factory town, nope. Later on, you also get then astronauts coming to your island, to your asteroid where you're building it, and well, you need to feed them, you need to give them jobs and stuff like that, which I think mixes the whole thing up in a whole new direction, in a very interesting direction. If you're interested in this game, have a look at the video description. There is a link right to the Steam page for this one. Without further ado, let's get cracking, shall we? And here we are now on our spacecraft. We're getting introduced.
That one planet would be enough for us was wrong. Our colossal ambitions pushed us to leave our homes. Driven by the need of development and achievement, humanity seeks opportunities to discover new worlds and perhaps new dimensions. We are the first colonists, laying the foundation for future generations. It's your turn now. Show your survival skills, unlock technologies, and remember, the galaxy is yours to conquer.
I'll take you up on this. There we have some astronauts already, but they're not going to join us this time. Nope, we're alone. I guess they're all going to be landed on a platform, and we're just on one of these now too. And off it goes again. Goodbye. And we are all alone now. We do have some other platforms over there that I can see. We do have lots of asteroids around us. We do have, on the lower left corner, oxygen. So a bit of survival there in the beginning as well. And yeah, what we should start now is mining. We have this bot here, the friendly bot that we have, our follower, our friend, our companion in the beginning. And he's basically now just introducing us to the very first steps really that we have on this very first colony here, because bear in mind we can have several colonies, and we can also have several of these platforms here. Right now we're just on one of these platforms, very small, but later on we will be able to attach us to one of these islands here and make us bigger with that and build up a bigger infrastructure. That is just really interesting, I think. Now let's go ahead. He tells us a few of the further mechanics, and now we need to start with the first mining. The first mining we need to do, as always in these games, we need to do it ourselves, right? So very meditative task or menial task, and we are basically now just mining it. Iron ore, we have in the beginning copper ore and also carbon, right? Now the thing with carbon though is that we do need it for power. With iron ore and with the copper ore, we do need it for smelting. And as we can see, we can just float around here. Of course, since we're in space, right? And take us all these resources that are just flying around. Let's just see. There's a bit more copper over there. So we can see the copper asteroids. They're a bit reddish, orange. Then we have the ice asteroids over there. Very important because we're going to need the ice for oxygen production. That's this one there. I just always love the beginning of complex games, when everything is so simple. Carbon, and what we can also see is we do get some basic science points from time to time while mining that. This is going to remain for the rest of the game, so we do have a tech tree, a very extensive one, right? And we do get these science points here, basic sciences, out of mining ourselves, but also then later on by mining it automatically. Carbon, very good, and some more iron ore. And I think it's looking good. There is a gold asteroid here that we could use then as well. And while we mine, we could also start the first automation process. That's in our inventory. And we do have some recipes available, right? Iron bar and copper bar, and we can just enable this. And now in the background, we are always going to process that into ingots, into bars that we're going to need then for further construction. Right, let's mine a bit more iron ore. Check the oxygen meter is my next mission. There's lots of carbon and copper in it, so definitely take that with me. Yeah, he continues to tell us something about the oxygen and that we would definitely have certain death upon us if we don't get this straight. Thank you for the warning there. It was kind of logical to me anyway, I guess. And what we need to do on a little platform is the first real building that we need, and that is the oxygen production. We need to research that first oxygen generator. Let's go ahead and do this. Cost me 2 points. We have 12 points still left. And with that, I can now go ahead and build me that first building. Now we have it in device oxygen generator. Lucky us, we do have some copper already with us, so I don't need to worry about copper. And as we can see, there it is. It has an input as well, so that we can get some water in, for example, and also then ice in, right? So 2 of these thingies here. Also power, very important, because we have, of course, a power production then as well. We should make sure that we do lay this out in a certain area, right? So, and yeah, let's place our very first oxygen production right over there in the corner where we don't bother anything else with. Oh, hello there. And unfortunately, once they crash onto my platform, these asteroids disappear just into nothingness. This one is fine now. However, we do still need electricity. So I have another tech that I need to research. That's electricity. And with that, we also get another building available, the carbon reactor. Lucky us, we do have quite a lot of iron ingots available. And I can just go ahead now and place them here. I will need a few of them in the beginning, I think. So we should probably just set them out in a straight line somewhere, where we don't need to bother about it then for a longer time, right? So I might actually do it here, or we could also do it right over here, for example, where the power or the resources get in, which is then the coal, right? And the power gets out. Let's build that first building as well. Bear in mind, we can always remove them, right? Very easily so. And with that, we can just reuse them again. So nothing is really permanent. That's also something that I like a lot, because it doesn't penalize you for planning wrong or something like that, or if you're playing for the first time, like I'm doing here. Now, let's continue. We do have that. We do have some carbon already in. What we still need is copper. So we do have more recipes now on, in my inventory. However, we do need to research them first. That's the handcrafting. And with that, we have wires, copper and iron wires now available. And I could also, while I'm here, also go for the water right away that we can unlock with that. Now, for the wires, let's go ahead and start producing us some wires. Let's make it 10 for the iron and 10 for the copper, right? So once we have 10, it's going to stop. And for the while being, we construct this now. I can use this time to continue a bit with the asteroid mining, because we do need a lot of that. As long as we don't have it automated, we should use that time to just mine us some things and also get some science points along the way. Now, after having my copper cables, let's go ahead and put the first wiring on board. We can then just go along here, for example, at the edge of my platform if I want to. And yeah, go ahead and get us this very first connection done to my oxygen production. There you go. Now we just need to add something here, and that is ice. We can use ice to refill our oxygen, just like this, manually though it is, right? And we do have 6 irons, or still 5 ice still in stock, so we will have the ability to reload us once again, or recharge us once again, and that's it. Nothing else I can do here. Later I can automate this by adding a water pipe to it, or also here an automated ice input, whatever I like then. Now that's fine. With that, we have our carbon reactor that needs now the carbon ore, and with that we're starting now to produce electricity. And we can see this, the wire is on power. And yeah, with those 2 things I could actually survive quite a while now, to be honest. I just need to go out there, mine me some ice asteroids. There are always some floating around. We have the electricity, and that's really it. And with that, we have fulfilled the quest about the oxygen, and now we can learn a bit more about electricity. However, we are far ahead of this. Handcrafted copper wires. Yeah, let's just get us a few of them out, as the game demands me to do. We still have 3 copper bars, so I should definitely mine a bit more copper then as well. There you go. Successfully finished the next quest. And with newly discovered water technology, you can start collecting water, build icebreakers to process ice into water. Let's go ahead and build us that water breaker right away. I'm building it like this. I will never need the input for the oxygen here. I think so, at least, because we will unlock the recipe for getting water into oxygen anyway. And that just makes things then easier for me. So I just need a water pipe then here in total. We will also need a water cell. So this is where we can store the water. I could basically just have it right next to it. So any kind of water that we produce now gets in here. And from here we can then also put the pipe then out as well. We just need a power cable. Unfortunately, I don't have a fun... perhaps I can do this already. Can it float? Yes, it can float. This makes things a bit easier, of course. As I can just basically now do it like that. And draw it all the way over there to make the connection. That's a bit of a strange connection here. Let's just remove 2 of them again. There you go. And with that, we have this one connected. And we now need just to put some ice into it and can get water out of it. By the way, let's split it up and get the rest of the ice in again. Actually, split it up further. Ice is more important to me than water right now. Right, and the water is then getting stored in the water storage, as we can see. And from here, I can just make a tiny pipe then over and produce me endless oxygen, that is. However, it's a long step for this. Bravo, you've learned a lot. Now we can continue with recycling. So we already did this a few times, right? Deleting something. However, at the moment, it's not getting back into my inventory. Or is it? Yeah, there we have it, my recyclables. We can get the basic materials out of it again, right? So this is something I can't do right now, but with a new tech, I can do this, and that is the recycling. However, that's over here, so I'm not going to focus on that for now. Way more important to me is asteroid catching, so let's go ahead and unlock this tech together with smelting and my booster. So with that, I can now, yeah, be very fast, as we can see, because the booster is being unlocked just like that immediately. No problem. And what we can do now is, for now, we have always mined asteroids manually, right? Which is really tedious. And with the asteroid catcher, we can change things a bit by automatically capturing those asteroids then into my base. So let's go ahead and build us that. We do have it under mining section, asteroid catcher. I would like to build 2 of them right away, to be honest. And they just need a bit of power, right? So yeah, we could have, let's have the power here then, so along the cable then. And I would definitely like to get me a few more carbon processes in. They need 3 tiles each. So I will be able to get my asteroid catchers out over here, and we'll still be able to have 2 of these carbon processes. Let's keep a bit of a distance in between. There you go. 2 of them should be fine for us. And then also cable. Do I have enough cables? I hope so. Yeah, of course not. I do need a few more cables there myself. And let's also get us a few more iron cables out. I should go out there and mine a bit more copper and iron. Like so. There you go. And over there we have a bit of copper. Also nice, all and done. By the way, we should look out for my oxygen there a bit. Let's refill it with my ice that I still have in stock. There you go. And we can now go ahead and also continue with this one and that one. Each one of them consumes though 2 electricity. So we should make sure that we always have enough. We produce 10 right now, which is fine, but it's not going to be lasting forever. Now with these asteroid catchers, we go out and yeah, literally catches asteroids. It's this one here for some copper. And another one for another copper. So we can queue up 1 more asteroid, right? It's then floating here. That's it. Nothing else. If I want to click on that, as we can see, this one is being lost, right? But we do have another asteroid catcher. Lucky us. And we can... a bit of iron there. Oh, carbon. Carbon is also fine. Right? So it's being processed now in here. Looking nice. And as we can see, we can just collect it now like this if I want to. However, this is not enough yet. By the way, I think we're still, yep, getting those wires on the way. I like wires, but we don't need that many. I rather need me some copper bars and stuff like that. And now we just really need to wait, right? We don't need to mine manually anymore. They have an output, both of them, that we can then use for further smelting. We can automate this process then even further. But for now, I can just reap the rewards. The bot is in the way here right now. Yeah, there's the bot right in front of the cannon. How dare he? He's doing that. So yeah, please follow me. Thank you. He still wants to talk with me about the recycler. Oh, lots of carbon asteroids. Yeah, let's get us another carbon asteroid out there. Now, because it doesn't want to shut up about the recycler... Oh, wait a second. Can I can swap the mission. Perfect. Construct the smelter, because this is the step that is a bit more important. A bit more my ice. Well, it's in the area. Why not just get it myself? Yeah, before the asteroid collapses. Catches another asteroid. There's always asteroids around, which is very convenient. So we can always just have a few of them mined. We can continue with the smelter now. So for the smelter, let's go up a bit again. Let's have a look. Smelter device to convert ores into bars, and we definitely need at least one of them. I think one should be fine. We could also go for another one if I want to. We do need an input here for that, and an output, of course. And yeah, let's have it somewhere over here. I mean, I think actually we have 2 inputs. I could just get, yeah, one smelter for both of them. Should be fine, I guess. We'll just see. We can always just remodel this, right? And let's get us also then the power output from a cable here. Yeah, let's go ahead like that. Have this cable then all the way to the smelter. In the smelter, we have then the recipes for the iron, for the copper, and for the gold. And if I have something like that in stock, like gold, for example, it's then processing then automatically right further. However, at the moment, I will need to do this manually, this process, right? But at least I don't need to do it myself anymore. There you go. And the ingots are then being produced in that smelter. And after a while, we have finished also that mission here by constructing enough bars. Let's go ahead and catch us some more asteroids. Ooh. This one here as well. By the way, I should have a lot more carbon. There you go. So that this carbon reactor is going to work for a while. We have now 2 consumption here. We can see that they're not working at full efficiency anymore, right? So this means we don't have enough power. The network production is 10. The network consumption is 13. So we do need another carbon processor soon. However, for now, we can work with the penalty just fine. Give me the bars, please. And definitely we need a bit more iron. So let's also go ahead and in addition, yeah, still mine ourselves. Alright, next comes the logistics that we have it. However, for the logistics, that's the conveyor belts, the first level then. We do need something else, and that is the handcrafting plate over here. Let's unlock this recipe. And with that, we are now able to produce iron plates out of iron ingots ourselves for the moment. Let's go ahead and do this 5 times. And ooh, I will probably need a few more iron asteroids. There's one, there's 2 right now, perfect. Capture both of them, and then also with this one another copper, and let's go with another copper because I think we still have plenty of ice there. Yep, 11, so I don't need to worry about my oxygen for a while. What I could worry about is my power production, so I could just get me another carbon processor, this one here for example. That is then producing me a bit more electricity with the carbon that we get. And with that, we have now a powered grid of 20. This should then lead again to a full efficiency. There you go. And it's so much carbon, really. They don't consume that much. Look at that. We're still in the 40s with this one. And it's been a while since we built it. So it's very slow here, the consumption. So just getting some asteroids in between with some carbon on board will be fine. Like this one. Now that we have the plates in construction, let's continue with the logistics network here. So this one will enable us to build belts. Good. I think there is no quest for this, right? No, we're just doing this on our own. He still wants me to recycle, but not for now though. Let's go ahead and get us the belts out for that. However, we do need to have some plates. We have 5 plates available right now. No ingots though, by the way. I should really watch out for getting me some ingots in here. So there it is. right? Because we want to automate this one now. And for that, let's go ahead. Paths, there it is. Conveyor belt. We can only build 5 though for now, so we definitely will need a few more. So let's go ahead. All right, I think we have everything. We get 11 plates now. This should really be fine. Let's go ahead and start the first conveyor belt. We should make sure that it looks towards into the right direction. As we can see, there's already stuff coming out. Right into our smelter. And ladies and gents, with that, another very important milestone has been achieved, because now we do have the asteroid mining being automated, right? So whenever I just need to collect it now. It's being then transported over to my smelter, and whatever we can smelt is going to be smelted, and the rest I can just collect myself. So this is also like acting like a smaller storage depot for me now for the duration, because we have enough here anyway. And I just need to collect now the ingots whenever I want to. We should also do the same thing, by the way, then here. I think we still have enough. Yes. To also get this in. There you go. And now we have our first fully automated production. Oh, there's something wrong here. There you go. Now it's getting over, and we can see the... What have I done? Alright. This should work now. Still not working. This should work. There you go. Now the iron is getting over there. A lot of it too. And we're automatically smeltering the whole thing. So I really just need to worry about now capturing me some asteroids. At least for now. Alright, another thing we found is the gold bar. So with that, we can finally start this quest that he's been bothering me with for a while. By the way, the carbon that comes out, we could enable a filter and or splitter and then get the carbon automatically over to my carbon processors, right? That would be another step then. Now, we do have the recycler. I think we already researched that tag. No, there it is. Recycling. Let's research it. All said and done. And with the recycler now, we can start... recycling things. I will still need some copper wires. We do have lots of copper bars. Actually, let's make it, yeah, 10 of that. And for, we have 15 plates, that's fine. And I think I don't need those wires for now. We have 50 of that. That's fine. Let's get us a bit more oxygen. We are rather low on that. There you go. All the way refreshed. Get us some more bars that we are getting out of here. And let's also capture some more asteroids. So this is my routine for the moment. There's a bit more carbon over here. And then a bit more copper. And with that one, yeah, can't hurt to get a bit of ice in. And then, yeah, more carbon. Let's get another copper in. Now, about that recycling machine, there it is. We will always be able then to have an input there and, yeah, basically produce us the output or the resources. I think we don't need to automate this for a while, so just for now, I'm going to kind of like place it somewhere over there. And we only really need to have then one copper connection. That's it. My bot is happy about that. And as we can see, we could now recycle something. I think we do need to remove something in order to do that. Let's just get us those 2 cables out there, put them in, and recycle them. And we do get the copper out of this again. So for now, it doesn't make that much sense, I think. But later on with higher quality buildings, if we want to get the materials back, which could be rare materials then, this makes perfectly sense to do that, right? But I don't think that we need it for a little while longer. All right, another thing we still don't have is a water transportation. Let's unlock this one. With that, we have the water pipes enabled. So now I could get the water cable over, and I think we should do this. We have enough wire. So this goes from my water cube, right, all the way then over here into my oxygen production. And with that, we would have now the water production. And in my oxygen, right, the water comes in. We have 25 stored. So this is the cube that we have. And with that, we can now automatically produce then oxygen. However, I don't have the recipe for that yet. The recipe is coming a bit later. I think somewhere here it is then. And with that, we will have then fully automated oxygen production. So far, so good. That's Astro Colony. We are going to continue here in the next episode with, yeah, capturing us some platforms in the surrounding area and expand our basic platform here with some further foundation. Stay tuned.